here with more Space Engineers, and today let's bring you up to date with what's going on because, well, I've been having trouble with my recording software and we've gotten a bit done, so. Oh, let's turn those on so maybe you can see. Of course, that doesn't really help a whole lot until we get down here, does it? So. Alright, so as you can probably, well, you probably could have seen eventually. Let's go external view here so you can actually see what's going on. We have made a bit of progress. So I've gone ahead and started welding up at least some of the grid. And basically the idea here is that this way we can see what we're working with. I know a lot of folks that watch generally have questions or like about how I'm seeing what we've got going on and where things are. Because when you have everything wireframed in, it's not the easiest thing to make heads or tails of. And so I figured we'd do a little bit of weld up and show you what we've got. So the biggest thing is that we've actually got we've got a hangar done. One of the utility hangars that we were talking about. We've got a second hangar down here that I want to do. And that's what we're going to work on today because I miscalculated some stuff. And what we're going to do is I would like to fix it. But it would require me basically taking out everything that I built and starting over. So that is always an option. Don't get me wrong. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to come in and take a look and see what our actual ranges look like on this thing. Specifically the clearances. And I think this is actually going to be fine. Yeah, this is gonna work fine. So I don't actually have to tear anything out, which is good. Well, I don't have to tear out anything that I built, I should say. Alright, so let's get out here. And what we're going to be able to do is I'm not going to have to worry about having a connector here. But we are still going to feed things in. And I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're going to replace that. We'll have that feed from there. So we're actually going to have this. We'll do it like that. Or how about we do it that way? Alright, now what that's going to do, let me walk you through it here. We're going to end up with a conveyor system. I haven't figured out which way I'm going to run it yet. Excuse me. So I may end up running it out the back side here. Basically, we'll have a conveyor junction here. Which will feed in to the conveyor junction here, which is obviously our connector up at the top. And then we're actually going to have most of this be just regular block. Thinking we will probably reproduce what we have upstairs. Let me show you what we've got up there. So you can see the styling that we've done in here. Now the color is probably going to change at some point. Right now I'm just using generic colors. I'm not too worried about. So we have an air vent here, which is being fed from downstairs. We have the connector there. And so what I'm thinking is we're going to probably try to reproduce what we have here. So what ended up happening is on the interior space, you know, that's 5 blocks there, with the 6th block being the ceiling. Let me show you what we've got down here. We've got 5 blocks with the 6th block being the ceiling, and that's actually directly under the pad. What I had originally wanted to do was have there be a space, a full block space between this. We'd have a buffer zone, and then we would have the ceiling down here, which was the way everything was originally set up. Which I could probably still do with a little bit of finagling. So, I mean, that would really, really cut the space down here. But that might not be a bad solution. So let's go ahead, and you can see where I've already started putting some of the stuff in. And so what we would end up with is a line of these. And then that. And that. And so what we really end up with here is, you know, something that a little bit more interesting to look at, in my opinion at least. And we're gonna bring back our blast doors. Oh, actually we already have the blast doors. They are right there. Okay. Well, that's convenient. Oop. Alright, and for now we're just gonna place some blocks down as placeholders so we can figure out where we're gonna put everything. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab the last few of these. And that gives us most of what we need. Okay, and for our connector, I'm thinking I just want to go ahead and put the connector in the same spot. We're just going to go ahead and put the connector in the same spot. So if we do connector there, go ahead and follow some of this out. And what we're going to do is take this back that way. And that should get us most of the way out. Yeah. Which is fine, because as long as we can get this stuff out of here. And that'll allow us to connect things around as we need to. Yeah, so we're going to have E there. E. And conveyor there. Now, like I said, the idea is that this will end up being airtight. Space Engineers is a little weird. Sometimes it will count that as being sealed, and sometimes it won't. So we'll see how that actually plays out. And then for this area is basically just the half blocks here. And like I said, I may change this up because I don't generally like giant flat walls in the builds. So we'll see how this all works out when everything is said and done. Alright, so looking forward to seeing what Keen has on the list for the next Space Engineers update. Haven't heard a whole lot yet, so Okay, so if we go with that, how many plates do I have? I've got 400. I mean, let's go ahead and get some of the framework in at least so we can see what we're working with. Make it a little easier to see what we've got here. 61 plates left, which is enough to get that. And I've got a bunch of plates being manufactured right now, so we're not too worried about all of that. In fact, let's see. I should have 19K, I think, already manufactured. Yeah. Alright, so if we do that, come over here and see what we've got going on. Yeah, burning through the material. I think I don't know, not quite half of what I had. Hiccups, excuse me. Yeah, because if you remember, we were at like 2 1/4. We're down to 1.5, so we've gone through, you know, 750,000 iron. Not too shabby, right? Yeah, surprisingly, that little hangar space right here accounted for almost 10,000 plates. I think it's because of the blast doors, but it adds up quick. All right, and so we've got what, 1,200 on us. Let's see how much of this we can get done with just the 1,200 panels here. And yes, I know I have a welding rig upstairs that can do this for us. I just haven't taken it over to get it loaded up. Alright, so that was about 400 plates. Just getting that one panel done. Oh, man. Alright, and where was it at? We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here. That should be the middle of the wall. Yeah. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, should be that one.
Energy low.
Yeah, okay. And what we're gonna do is we're going to take this, put that there, put that there, and since I need to recharge, we'll do all that while we're in here. Okay, so you guys are going to be hangar, small craft, lower, and I want to say lights. And so basically I'm trying to, like I've said before, I'm trying to keep everything organized as far as how things are named. It tends to make it much easier when you come back to try and find stuff later as to exactly what you got going on. So don't want to see you there, don't want to see you there. You. Not sure where that interior light's at. I have to find that. Alright, anyway. Yeah, you're miscellaneous interior light. We're gonna have to track you down. Alright, so let's head down here really quick. And the idea is that once we have these in and on, we can turn off the ship lights, make it a little easier to see down here. There we go. Alright, so my build planner is clear. Go hit this up, and then basically this will allow us to dock the ship down there. And okay, I got enough plates. And this welded up really quick. How many plates I have left? Not enough to really worry about. Before I forget, you are your small craft lower. There we go. Because nothing worse than finishing a big base build and then having to find out that you need to come back and remap everything. So now we have that done. I think what we will do is let's get you out. We're gonna get this guy loaded up and let him go to work. All right, so thank you. There we go. A little bit of mass on this thing now. And look at how fast we go through plates. Okay, so while they're doing that, we're going to grab a couple of K plates ourselves. And let's go ahead and start with the sidewalls here, I think. What's really frightening is that if I actually took the 2 minutes that it takes to go build the epic tier tools, we could actually be doing this a bit faster. Did you get everything loaded up? Alright, so let's bring it in this way. Bob should start welding that up for us there. So he is just as fast as I am, so that's a good thing. Oh. Why didn't you hit the floor there, Bob? Alright, come here, buddy. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to need to weld that up too, so I'll bring Bob over to weld up the behind the scenes stuff. But basically I'm just trying to get enough of this welded up that we can get stuff done down here. One of the things I would like to do today is I'd like to start focusing a bit more on the large hangar space. And it would actually be nice to be able to get a lot of this welded up, but I think basically because it's going to be just manufacturing plates and a ridiculous number of them, that will probably do most of that off camera. And the other thing I'm going to do, because I think the large hangar is mostly defined at this point, it would really just be getting the floor in, which is just going to be blast doors, and then getting it plumbed for the various connectors, because I'm going to probably do a connector towards the west wall, the east entrance area, the east gate on it, and then probably something on maybe the sides, and maybe stuff even up on the top. And then that way it gives us a little bit of option on how we build the whatever ship we're going to build in here. And then on this side, what I'm thinking is, since we have a fairly large gap between the wall and the shaft itself, I'm thinking we're going to put a hallway in down here that takes us over into these two areas. So we'll end up with probably a side door over here somewhere. That will bring us into the hangar space, and then that'll allow us to get in and out of the hangars without having the hangar doors open. And hopefully these things will pressurize up. Speaking of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And need steel plates. Okay. What's the okay, I got plenty of room. See how easy this is? So much easier with a weld shop. I mean, really, they really do just do the work for you. So much easier. And there you go. Alright, so while you guys are doing that, let's go refill our tanks. Yeah. get this in. So as I was saying, one of the things I like about using Bob specifically is that it allows for a lot more freedom, because if you were using a welding ship, so using the actual welders, the weld area is actually a damage zone for players. So you could, if you had even if you were using a modded welder so that things basically were more than 1 or 2 blocks away from the ship, everywhere that the welder has an influence, if you fly into it when the welders are turned on, you take damage. Depending on where you are when the damage registers, it can basically kill your character in 1 or 2 hits. It's really, really dangerous as far as the characters are concerned. So I do like having that, something like Bob, where it does the weld without having the danger zone. Now, that being said, I could understand if they chose to implement that or give that as an option. You know, it would make sense. But let's see, we may be out of the tubes. Yep. So we're going to go ahead and put those into production. Let that run for a bit. Do I have... Alright. And so once we have that, what we're going to do is we'll do a pressurization test. I should probably have... Actually, I don't think I have any hangar doors anywhere, do I? Okay, so you are... small craft. Doors. There we go. I'll save that really quick. And then what we will do is I'll actually make 2 more of these. We'll have one that's a group of just the lower, and then another one that's a group of just the upper. And then what that will allow us to do is to have individual controls over the doors. So if we want to do something... Here. So if we want to do something that requires only part of the doors to be open, or part of the door set to be open, we'll be able to. Alright, and to grab those, because I think we're going to have to come back and do a bit more with that. Alright, so let's see what we can pick up. Because if it doesn't fill our inventory, then we know we need to throw more stuff in the manufacturing. Alright. So we had to pull pieces out from all over the place. Alright, so I think the rest of it we can throw in the manufacturing, right? Take a look. It's tubes and motors, yeah. Just go ahead and throw the rest of that into the build plan, manufacturing plan. There you go. And that'll give us the upper hangar done. We still need to do a little bit more down here. Yeah, you got plenty of plates. I'm not worried about that. Okay. I mean, it's rather awesome how fast Bob works. Just having 2 of them here And they just burn through the build stuff. Let's see if he'll load up the blocks behind it for us. Is there any blocks back there that you need to order it? And I do appreciate that he waits for me a couple of seconds in order to get in a position. Alright. Way to go, Bob. Okay. And we'll make sure we're not going to destroy our mining rig here. As we swing this thing around to get more stuff built. And if we position there, that should give us pretty good coverage. While you were working on that, I am going to go up here, grab the parts out of our utilities. Hopefully, at least. Wait for it to... So, should be... there. And that gets us parts here. Alright, so I have a few things left. We're gonna go for buttons. Let's just go for that. Not a whole lot for it, so go ahead and grab this stuff. And should be, there you go. Okay, so the idea here is that we're gonna go ahead and get these in. And you will be groups. And you'll be open close. Okay. Now what we're looking for is for this to turn green. And not pressurized, okay. So yes, that's going to be an issue then, which means we'll have to take this out and raise that up one block, okay. So let's take that. Shouldn't be anything in there because it's not connected to anything. Actually, I'm wondering if having this welded up. Let's weld that up. Because it may be that because that block isn't welded up, it's causing problems. So we'll hang out here for a second, enjoy the sunrise over the crater wall. So yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking, how you, if you're enjoying the series. Put down in the comment section if there's something you'd like to see added or something that I haven't touched on yet. Be sure to put that in there as well. Let's see here. There we go. It's nice having, you know, just a ridiculous array of things producing parts for you. Makes it much easier. Okay, now we go hit the button. And the moment of truth. Wait for it. Turns green. There we go. Okay. And we want... So yeah, that was because we didn't have the lower block welded in, which is fine. Just means I have to rename everything again. I got small craft upper connector. Okay. And I need to remember to turn off the strength. There you go. Alright, so that is all of that. Now, what I was talking about with getting over here is because, as you can see, the only way to get in and out of here would be through the main hangar gates right now. And what I want is to be able to get in and out of this place without having to depressurize the hangar. So, is there anything... Ooh, that was close. Let's move ourselves over just a wee bit there. But yeah, so I was saying I want to be able to get in and out of these hangars without needing to risk depressurizing them. And so what I'm looking for is what makes the most sense pathwise to get us up and around things. So, alright, so I think that's... See how far out that's going to let us go. I'm surprised we're actually getting that much coverage, honestly. Huh. Alright. Alright, so let's go ahead and get you back over here. Okay, swing this beast around, and I like the fact that I did make these big enough for the small craft to maneuver. That helps a lot. So we can go just like so. Whoop. There we go. Yeah? Okay. So now that can charge up. And let's talk hallway. So what I'm thinking is maybe do something where we have, let's do something like this so we can alright, so since we're trying to keep things in line with this, right? How many plates do I have? I don't have any plates. See if I have some plates over here. I think I have some. I should have some plates, right? Yeah. Perfect. And how much iron do I have left, actually? 1.3. So we're going to go ahead and go in here. Say you guys do another 10. You guys do another 10. Not quite 500,000 down, which puts us at about 1 million units left. Not too bad. Okay. Alright, so what I'm thinking is we'll have something, let's say this drops down to... Well, because this is eventually going to be reworked. What I'm trying to figure out is where it makes sense. Is this a good height? That is actually a good height for an operations control. Alright, so if we go like so. Like so. And then we come up 1, 2, 3 blocks should be good. Alright. And so we'll have our ops be in here somewhere. Gives us enough visibility that we can see what's going on at the lip of the area, as well as seeing into the hangars themselves and the main shaft area, which would not be bad. And I do think I'm going to end up putting a couple of connectors out here. That way we'll be able to have a, you know, like, say, not necessarily a large craft, but you could definitely get a bigger craft here than we would be able to build in that the shipyard hangar thing over there. So we actually have the potential of having, you know, somewhat larger craft parked down there. So I do think that that is going to be a thing. All right, so if we have operations there, how about we go, say 2 blocks down? Oh, 1 block down might not be bad. So if we go there, so I'm trying to figure out the spacing here. Because that's going to be to there, which means hallway would be at this level. So this wouldn't be bad, right? Gives you a little bit of a tease look into those hangar spaces. You can see straight off into the shipyard, which, yeah, I think this will work really well at the site. Alright, so let's go for the plan with that. Now, this is the wall here, so let's talk passageways, because we don't use these very often at this point. Let's see, you guys, you have a light, you have a wall, you have a wall, windowed. All right, let's see what you look like. Oh, so you're windowed on both sides. Interesting. I don't know if I like that or not, honestly. I may have to put the passageways mod pack back in. So a couple of years ago, one of the community modders for Space Engineers actually built a mod pack that Keen eventually rolled over into vanilla, which is what this is, which I think was heavily inspired by or directly inspired by the that other mod pack. The thing is that the Passageways and More mod has windows where they'll have like a half window or a full window on one side, and then you have another one where it's windows on both sides. I've actually used the mod before. I like that mod. And it basically gives us a little bit more freedom with what we're doing, because they have things that are basically half a block versus a full block. So you know how you have walls on both sides of this, right? They have more options when it comes to these like half wall things where it's, you know, a wall and a roof. They have versions that are like this where it also has a floor included. And then they have ones that are basically the same as the double side, where you'll have lights and corners and all of this other stuff. So you can actually make like 2 and 3 wide hallways, or bigger if you really wanted to. So I'm thinking, do we want to add that mod in or not? I think for now what we'll do is we'll leave we'll use the vanilla mod or the vanilla passageways, but I do think I'm going to come back through. And if you guys want to see that other mod, you know, throw that down in the comment section. So we've got them with windows. We've got them with lights. I thought there was one that was vented. I could swear one of these had a vent on it. Huh. Alright. So yeah, I think we'll do then. Let's go ahead and drop the old school passageway there. So if we do any interior plates. Of course I do. Because why wouldn't I? Let's grab like 200 of those. And so what this will allow us to have is stuff basically built into the walls that lets us get around. And you are... Ooh, I kind of like that actually. Basically an offset door without a door on it. That's a cross section. Passageway. Could do one with the light. Do another one with the light. Because when you're in here, you should be pulling the ambient light from there. And that will basically be something like that, I think. See, those are kind of cool. I do like the style of those. Passage 2 versus passage 3. Passage 2 side. Let's see what that looks like. Passage 3 wall. And then the corner, which will eventually be put into the places there. Okay. I think that will get us pretty where we want to be for the most part into here. And what we'll do is, I'm wondering, should we have a passage that goes up to where we're going to have our operations area, or should we have this be the entrance to all of that? I think I like having this the entrance to all of that. And so what we'll end up with is basically you come down here and there'll maybe be a split that takes you up that way. So do we have T-junction? There we go. So let's put a T-junction in. Do we have... No, we don't have any passageways with that. See, and that's what I was saying, is with the passageways in More mod, we've got passageways that have inventory access to connect to the grid network. We've got things that have LCDs in them, and you know, just all sorts of really cool display sets. And I could have sworn one of these had an LCD in it. but I guess not. Oh well. It is what it is, I guess. Alright. Okay, so that's gonna go this way. What I'm thinking here is let's go here. Was that 1, 2, 3? Wouldn't be a bad place for it. Alright, so we are slowly making our way up. What I'll probably do is break this thing out.
Critical.
I'm thinking maybe take this stuff out and then mine that straight back. Just basically use the drill to get the stuff out of here. So if I approach it from probably here. And just head straight in that way. Yeah, let's do that. See, all the little dirty secrets of space engineers crafting or building here. Turn on the lights. Do 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 do. Alright. Alright, so that's gonna hurt. Oh, I forgot I only have 2 thrusters on each side for lateral control. I think I'm gonna increase that. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna excavate this. And because of the fact that we've gone so far away from the initial grid, we actually need to make sure that we're aligning to the grid and not to the gravity well. Okay, so let's take a look at what we've got here. That gets us most of that cleared. That'll bring us here, which we can have stairs that drop down. And if we go up here, we've got you. So how about we offset this, because the one downstairs is here. So if we go, have to be here. That's where it's going to have to be for that, so that we have a block in between, so we can do a wall separation there. All right. And we just fold this up. start excavating this stuff out until we find the hole. There it is. Alright. And like I said, we should have the room necessary. There you go. Okay, that should get us pretty well where we need to be. Hopefully. Trying to decide if I want to just go ahead and dig some of this out too. Since we're here, may as well, right? And that should give us enough room to work here. Okay, there we go. And I mean, it's all going to be hidden behind the wall anyway, so I'm not too worried about how it looks. There we go. And how close did we get? We got pretty close. Okay. We can do that. Turn those off. Turn that off. Alright, that gets us in here. The only thing we need to do now is get the rest of the hangar doors in. And how did I do that up here? I did those, and I'm thinking we're going to change, we'll probably change these up. Oh, maybe not. Let's see here. Okay, so that's all that. So if we get so I could actually change some of this out. Okay, let's get some of you patched in. I know we're just kind of jumping all over the place right now. Let's go, because what I'm thinking here is maybe something like this. Because that gives us a little bit better, well, let's see what it looks like. So I may end up not liking it and want to try something else. Yeah, I'm actually not liking that. What if we flip them? Because I'm almost thinking, I don't know if I'm going to like this or not. Let's give it a try really quick and we'll see. I mean, I like it better than what we had. How about we do this? Let's take this stuff out of here. Because one of the things that I found that I'm actually kind of liking, if we have them in here, nope, they are in this block. Yep. I'm actually liking these a lot lately. And so what I'm thinking is maybe we do something like this. Now obviously I'm not going to have enough plates for this, but... Oh wait, did I have... Oh, it's because I have extra plates, okay. And then what I'm thinking here is that we come down and we go like that. So we end up making it a little bit chunkier. And it kind of gives the impression that that like maybe this drops down or something. I don't know. It definitely changes the feel of it though. And I think I like the style. Obviously, like I said, the color is going to have to change at some point, but I'm not too worried about that right now. It's more the design aspects. Yeah, I kind of like the way that that came out. And then we can do some changes out here to sculpt some of this a little bit better. Of course, I'm not actually opposed to the way that it showed up out here either, so... I do think I like that. Okay, I think that's what we're gonna run with. Now the rest of it is basically getting this stuff over to the various places it needs to go. And what I'm thinking we may do is I may come back with the mining ship and take some of this out. But I'm thinking we have that come one. So door, landing area. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna have to come back and excavate some of this out. There, and maybe have something that comes up through here. Okay, so we want this to be... So we're trying to figure out what our placement's going to look like here. Alright, so we're going to go... That'll be a stair. That'll be a stair. Oh, look at you. So that'll be stairs, that'll be stairs, that'll be stairs. That's like exactly where we need to be with it all. Okay. So this is actually going to come down one. Two. Three. Okay. And then I want you to be there. Can I get to that? There we go. Alright, so that's basically what we're going to have here. And then you're going to come out. You're also going to come out. And so you end up with basically this. Come on. All right. Okay, I think I got it. Yeah, I got it. Alright, so there's going to be stairs there. Be that. So that'll be stairs, that'll be stairs, that'll be stairs. And then let's go ahead and
Energy low.
replace this stuff. And then that we can fill all of that in. Basically, we can make this an extra room down here. Because you know how I like to have little areas set up for all sorts of contingencies. So I want there to be an airlock in here, which means basically we end up with that. Okay. Alright, so if we do that, we want you to be there. To there. Oh. How do I want to do that? I think we may just go straight there. And that comes down. And then that gives us the ability to do that. Alright, and then that's just basically bringing in a bunch of plates to tie it all together, which is easy enough. Alright. So, okay.
Energy critical.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's gonna get us for today. Basically, I'll get Bob on this and get it. Well, actually, I'll probably end up welding most of this by hand, but I need to get the plates up. Need to get all of this welded in, and when we come back next time, I will probably have something that goes up to that area as well. So we'll have this come into here, have a doorway that goes off and the lights that goes off and up into what'll be eventually the command area or the flight operations area. So we'll get, okay, so for what we're going to have on Friday, we should have most of this welded up. We'll have this hallway welded up so you can see it, and hopefully we'll have a hole where the operations center is going to be. So if we can get all of this welded up, get it sealed up, then we can figure out where we're going to run our all of our conveyor systems. Should be good. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and call this one here. I want to thank you all for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, you know the routines. Those hit those likes, subscribes, leave comments down in the section below. Feel free to share the video wherever you think it'll be enjoyed. And yeah, we'll see you back here next time for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. It's going to be a long week. Got so much to get done. Well, I guess we'll just get the plates started then. Ugh.